Now this is our first Halo Thursday where I'm actually playing on.
I didn't know that. Guys, how cool is the helmet? Breeze, what do you think, man? I can't hear you.
So sick.
But
So sick. Double thumbs. Wow. Wow. Wow.
let me tell you, that helmet, just unbelievable.
Dude.
Unbelievable.
Incredible.
And guys, it fits great. It fits great. You know, the other helmet that I have, which is also excellent, an excellent helmet, but very tight on my head. Having that one that's nice and loose, it's
That
great.
one's actually got room to spare, you said.
It does have room to spare. A lot of room to spare, which is great.
Wow.
Which is great.
Wow.
What is up, everyone? Kiana, I could breathe a little bit, but when I was breathing, it was fogging up the eyes a tad.
You can see through it? You can see through it?
I can see through it just fine. I just couldn't hear you. So
Yes.
that made me feel a little bit scared. I was like, I gotta hear Breeze.
If you had like little earbuds and you could sneak them in there, earbuds with the helmet,
Ooh, that would be great. That'd be
pretty
great.
good.
Chugs Army, Sweets Live, welcome to
Wow.
to part 18 of Halo Thursdays.
Woohoo!
Continuing some Halo 4 heroic co-op campaign. And as Kiana says, this is my 380th stream, so welcome everyone. Breeze, I gotta ask you,
Yep.
especially because we're around the same point. So I know we gotta be careful when it comes to spoilers, because there are quite a few people that avoid any sort of spoilers whatsoever. So without spoiling anything about Halo Infinite, I know that you have played a little bit of Halo Infinite. And what are your thoughts so far?
So far, I think it is absolutely incredible. So when it starts,
Yeah.
honestly, for the first, hour,
What?
it feels like a movie, dude.
It does. It
Like,
does.
the cutscenes are incredible. Everything that is happening is unbelievable. And then when it gets right into the gameplay is very different, but in the best way. Like, it is so smooth and realistic, and so I don't know. So I noticed this, and maybe I just wasn't hearing it crisp enough.
Okay.
But I can hear every friggin' word that everybody's saying. So, like, the little grunts and everything else, they're talking full sentences to me.
Yeah.
Have I been missing this the
You
entire time?
You have not. So
They've just been saying noises, right?
yeah, well, the grunts do say words in the game, and a lot of it depends on the difficulty that you're on. But like, it's very much jumbled, and then you end up hearing a word or two in a lot of different ways. But this one
is crisp, like,
crystal clear.
I was laughing my head off because I could hear the grunts, and it'd be like, the Green Man.
Yep.
I'd go, oh, that's great.
Right. Right.
But you could hear like every word that they're saying, and it was actually hilarious. Like, the dialogue was so funny in it.
So good. So good. And also, I was going to say, like, not only with the dialogue, and aside from the excellent voice acting there's been, but the sound design in general, whether it be the timing of the music or the sound of the guns. Like, the guns sound harder. I can't explain it, but like,
everything feels good. Like, it just feels good. The gameplay, smooth. The cutscenes, smooth. The dialogue, crisp and smooth. Like, everything is just on point.
Yep.
And they have set the stage for a damn good game.
Yep. Absolutely. I know. I am so excited to dive further into it. Because
also, you'll like this. So I told you that I actually bought a Series X like a month, 2 months ago.
Yes.
And it's been sitting here, and I haven't wanted to switch it over because we've been playing the Halos. I didn't know if like what I had on my Xbox was going to transfer over.
It will.
I finally made the jump. I actually played Halo Infinite. Was the first stream that I did on the Series X. Smooth transfer, by the way.
So smooth.
And now this is our first Halo Thursday where I'm actually playing on the Series X as well.
I didn't know that. Wait. So we're going to be playing. This is the first Halo Thursday where we're playing MCC on your Series X as well as mine. Dude,
Yes.
it is, I promise you, it is night and day. Like the Xbox One to this day still holds up excellent. You know, it's great. But when you go from the Xbox One to the Series X and you see the speed at which stuff loads, the like how smooth and the frame rate is consistently, oh my God, this is incredible. I didn't know that. Chugs Army, this is news to me. I didn't know that Breeze is going to be playing with the Series X today.
We're on the Series X now, man.
That's great. So the only downfall is eventually they're going to come up with capture cards to be able to do this. But like, for example, my Series X, when I play when I played the Halo campaign today, I'm streaming it at 1080p 60 FPS.
Yep.
Which it's still so much more stable, which is great, but that's because of my capture card. But if I play the game and I'm not streaming, I get native 4K and 120 frames per second. So it looks insane if I'm playing and I'm not streaming. But again, on this particular TV with the streaming, as I'm sure you've noticed, when you play at even 1080p 60 FPS consistently, what a difference.
Yeah. It's so even already like, and maybe I was just imagining it and I had a good internet on that day, but downloading the campaign, it was like what, 20 gigs?
You're not imagining it.
It went fast, dude.
You're not imagining it.
It went very fast.
I have had the same internet the entire time I have lived where I'm living. Okay.
Yep.
No difference. My Xbox One and my Xbox Series X have not been hooked up via Ethernet. My Xbox Series X downloads stuff 4 times faster.
So that's what I thought. Okay, because that downloaded so fast.
It's not in your head. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So definitely a difference.
It's a better. I don't know what they have in there that makes the Wi-Fi better, but the Wi-Fi is 1,000% better.
It was cooking. It downloaded stuff very fast.
Yep. Joe Cabana goes, it's so much faster. So much faster. But yeah, that's been huge for me too, as well as the PlayStation 5 compared to the PS4 Pro. Downloads way faster.
Crystal Rose getting in there. Crazy 2432 getting in there. If I am missing any of you guys know the deal. Halo Thursdays are a blast, and we always get caught up talking.
The absolute best.
We appreciate all you guys. Don't feel like we're missing you or ignoring you. We see all of you, and we appreciate all of you.
Breeze, I'm glad you said that, because again, I know both me and you are really good about making sure that we thank everybody, whether it be the bits and the subs and the resubs and the gifted subs and the raids. But when I'm here talking to my man Breeze, it's hard to go through it all individually. But I hope you know, and I know you guys do. You guys are the best. I know you guys know that we appreciate all this love on this Halo Thursday. And Breeze, today is a double stream for me. Stream.
I saw you on here earlier playing some Infinite. I knew you could not stay away.
I couldn't.
I was actually watching. Because I saw that you guys were going to play it last night at like midnight.
Yep.
And then I checked just after midnight and you guys weren't on. And I went, maybe they're not playing. And then I saw it this morning that you guys played, but it was like 1 o'clock.
1 a.m. to 2:15 in the morning. So, and dude, I even told the Chugs Army this. So sometimes, I have trouble sleeping. Sure. I've been very open about that. And for whatever reason, the past 3 nights, I've had a ton of trouble falling asleep. So like 3 nights ago, I got like 3 hours of sleep. The night after that, it was like 3.5 hours of sleep. And then, the night before, I'm trying to fall asleep and it was like 20 minutes. And then I slept an hour and a half on the plane. And then I took like a 3-hour nap. So it's been a long few days. However, I couldn't contain myself, man. I had to play Halo today. Had to do Halo Thursdays today. So I think in turn, though, that means tonight, my God, I'm going to sleep like a baby.
You should.
I am going to sleep like a baby.
I'd be surprised if you didn't.
So, yeah, exactly. You know what I think? I might be readjusting to traveling. Who knows?
I think so.
Who knows?
The travel is always what gets you. It's never the wrestling. It's never the, gaming. It's always the travel.
Yep. Exactly. Especially when you change time zones, or if you need to go somewhere to do something, it's at a weird time of when you would normally do it. So it all kind of depends. And then also it's just our body kind of changing. Because I was talking about this too with another wrestler this weekend. But it was like, I remember from like 19 to 24, I'm not kidding, and maybe you're way different, but I used to sleep 9 to 10 hours a night.
Wow.
From like 19 to 24. I slept so much. And the older I get, the less I sleep.
So I think that naturally happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I'm interesting. So like I'm just very in tune with my body. So like if I go, and this happened a lot on the road, I just turned into a zombie. So
oh my God, yeah.
Like because I would be, every TV nights you'd get maybe 4 hours of sleep because you had to catch a 6 a.m. flight to get home.
Yep.
So that would always happen. So you'd have like a night or two where you'd have like 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, whatever. And then eventually, like a week or two after, you'd be like, all right, I owe some sleep because I haven't been getting enough. And then all of a sudden, like when I stopped wrestling for a little bit, I got like 8 hours, 9 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours. And finally I went, I think I'm caught up. Like I feel good.
Yep.
And now like, so even today, what was yesterday? Wednesday?
Yes.
I think I stayed up. I think like even yesterday I was up till maybe like midnight, maybe.
Yeah.
And then I went to bed, and today like I woke up briefly, and then slept till like 10:30. So like I'm fully caught up on sleep, dude. I've been having good workouts. I'm getting back wrestling around at flatbacks and stuff. Like I feel good.
Yeah.
I feel
nice.
pretty good. So, no travel.
So did you, and I'm sure you have, because I know the answer to this question, but would you deal with the issue ever? Because I still, to this day, after doing this for nearly 14 years, where if you get to your hotel room, or you have to get up for a flight, and you go, okay, I have 5 hours until I have to get up.
Yep.
And you're laying there, and you're like, I got to make sure I get good rest. Got to make sure. You check your phone or your clock or whatever. Okay, now it's 4 hours. Okay, now it's 3 hours. And you almost have anxiety from like not wanting to miss your flight.
I used to do that. Like I'd literally just like I'd set 12 alarms, and then I'd be like, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. And then finally I got to the point where I was like a zombie, and it was like I went, I know I'll wake up. So I just like go to bed, and I'd wake up right on time, and I'd go, all right. And then the key, I think, was that I knew that on the plane, this was the massive game changer for me. If I put an eye mask and my neck pillow on the plane, I sleep even for an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours. I sleep just as good as if I'm in a bed, and I wake up fully refreshed.
Wow.
That was a game changer for me because again, I would be a zombie where I turned into a zombie where I was never more or less tired. I was always just like, if I sat down, I'd fall asleep.
Yep.
But if I never sat down, I'd never sleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's just where it got to.
Right. Right. Of course.
So,
of course.
It was crazy.
Yeah, mine, it's weird, is like, again, the older I get, the more, like, for my plane sleep, it's very inconsistent. There are some times when I sit on a plane and I sleep like I slept in a king-size bed with lavender and, like, beautiful music playing, and I'm like, oh my God, that was amazing. And then there are other times where I should sleep like a baby, and for whatever reason, my lower back's bothering me, or like whatever it is, and then you don't sleep good. But I will say, noise-canceling headphones, a neck pillow, and an eye mask, game changer.
Those are my three absolute musts. If I'm going on a plane, if I do not have those three, I will not be on that plane.
Right. Yeah. Or you will not also sleep. You will not sleep.
I wonder if you're the same as me. So if I was traveling, I would bring a Switch with me. Sometimes I bring my Surface Pro with me to play something.
Yep. But I bring my Switch all the time, every week.
I would sit down on the plane. I'd play for maybe 5 minutes, and then I would fall asleep. And I was like, why am I so tired? Like, I'm sitting here, and I should just be able to play for the whole flight. And 5 minutes in, I'm going, okay, I'm going.
Dude, I have been so conditioned to attempt to sleep on a plane that I can get 9 hours of sleep, get on a plane at 2 in the afternoon, after 9 hours of sleep, and go, oh, man, I can't wait to play Breath of the Wild today. And like you said, 15 minutes in, I'm like, And then
I am exactly the same, and I don't know why.
And then there will be times when you're like, oh man, I got no sleep. I can't wait to sleep on this plane.
Yes.
And then you can't fall asleep.
Oh, for the life of you. Oh,
why?
Brutal.
Why is that? Okay, yeah. So not to make this a giant sleep podcast.
I like
but
it though.
It's interesting. I think because now also is like I used to feel the most like when I was 22 years old, because now I'm 32. Yeah. So when I was 22, I used to feel the most rested with 9 hours of sleep. Now for me, 7 hours is my perfect amount of sleep. Where if I even get 8 hours, I feel a little bit groggy, like the first.
You know what? I actually researched this a little bit because there was days when I'd get like 10 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
And I'd wake up and I would feel terrible all day.
Yes.
So it's all about waking up in the right sleep cycle. So I actually got an app on my phone that would nicely wake you up when you should wake up. So you put between the times of like, all right, I want to get up between 8 and 8:30.
Okay.
And it might say that like, okay, so like the sleep cycle, if you hit your certain it goes by your breathing, the way that your breath is.
Really?
So like you have your phone by your bed and it uses the microphone to listen to your breathing. And when it hears me in that like that REM sleep or whatever, when I snap out of that, it knows that like I need to wake up. So it might wake me up at like 7:45 or it might wake me up at 8:25. It just depends on what cycle you're in. But almost 100% of the time, when I would wake up, I would go, "Oh, I'm good to go." And I went, there's an actual thing to it. Like,
what?
If you wake up in the right sleep cycle, I could go all day on 4 hours of sleep as opposed to 10.
Wait, what is this called? What is this app called?
So the one that I have, and there's a million of them at this point. The one I have is called
Chugs Army. Mind is blown. What?
I think it's just called Sleep Cycle.
Yeah, wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah, it's called Sleep Cycle. Cycle Sleep Tracker.
But I know some people wear those watches, right, where it tells them how good their sleep was. So
same idea.
But that's the thing though. With that thing, I'm terrified of that. Because I feel like it would cause more focus on sleep and then make me sleep less.
It actually just makes you a more efficient sleeper. So I would laugh because this thing will record. It'll record like when you snore. So like all of a sudden like it'll be like you snored, for 5 minutes last night. And then it'll break up like here's 10 seconds of me snoring, here's 10 seconds. And it has it. And then it'll also say like you slept this amount of time. It can tell when you actually fall asleep as opposed to like I'm going to bed. It took you 10 minutes to fall asleep and then you were up this time or whatever, and it shows you like a graph of like how deep your sleep is and how you're actually sleeping. And it basically just makes you like a more efficient sleeper, which I tested it out and I found it was like very, very accurate.
This is cool as well, dude. Is on set. First of all, glad you're here, man. He claims that you can actually go through a full sleep cycle in 4 hours on average.
Yeah.
Which does make sense. I remember, weirdly enough, reading Kurt Angle's book and him saying that he got 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night his entire 4 years at college when he was training for the Olympics.
Yes. So I've seen this mind boggled me. So I always look at like really successful people and I go like, all right. So like people who have either made a lot of money or they have like a lot of like, success or whatever. Yeah. How do they do it? And a lot of them wake up at like 3 or 4 in the morning and they like work out and they get that out of the way and then they do everything and they're usually asleep by like, sometimes they fall asleep at like midnight. And I'm like, okay, if you fall asleep at midnight and you're up at 4, how do you function on a day-to-day basis when you have all these things to do and work out and everything else? And I was like, I don't think that people can function on 4 hours of sleep. But I think if they sleep properly, then you actually can utilize the other hours in the day. Because like for me, I'm finding now there's not enough hours in the day to do everything I'm supposed to do.
You and me both, dude.
Especially Mondays and Tuesdays. Like Mondays and Tuesdays, we start streaming. Our second stream on Monday is at 11 p.m. and we usually wrap up about 1:30.
Yeah.
Then Tuesday, same thing. We start at 10 and we're usually done about 1:30. So by the time I wind down and do everything and shut myself down and whatever, it's like 2 or 3 before I'm falling asleep. And then I'm like, man, I'm going to have to sleep till like 11 tomorrow to like feel okay. But if I use this app, I'm telling you, I can operate if I wake up in the right sleep cycle, good to go.
Yep. It's like the studies I've heard too of like when taking a nap, how if you plan on being productive, sleeping for 20 minutes versus an hour. It's much more effective to do 20 minutes instead of an hour, which is
a lot of people
crazy.
too, they swear by having naps in the afternoon.
Yep.
But I know that like and maybe I'm just not napping correctly, but like I almost always wake up with a headache. Like if I take a nap, I wake up with a headache, and I don't know if like you have that like hot naps afternoon sleep, you know what I mean? So
that hot nap, dude. That hot nap.
I never nap, but I feel like if I nap properly, it might be good. And like a 20-minute power nap, maybe it's good.
That hot nap.
I could go for it.
Oh, I don't like it.
Hot, sweaty afternoon nap.
That hot, sweaty afternoon nap is the best description of a nap.
Headache every time.
Ever.
Yep.
Oh, God. Yeah, it's so wild how everyone is so different in that sense. Everyone's so different.
Yes. I would love it though if maybe I'll test it out. Sleeping on like I think 6. If I could do 6 hours, that would buy me a lot of hours in the day.
It sure
would. I think if I can have a very efficient 6-hour sleep, I feel like I could give that a try and get on board and wake up earlier and be productive.
Right. I got you.
You know what I mean?
I got you.
You know what I've really enjoyed about this though? Because like, I was like, you know what? You've played through all the Halos. You know all the stuff. You've done it a million times.
Yeah.
I was like, I get playing co-op, but like you're kind of like like you love Halo.
I
could also understand if you were like, all right, like I've done this. It's not new, whatever. But we're actually stumbling upon some new stuff that you've never seen because you've never done the co-op stuff.
Yes.
Which is very cool. Like in Halo 3, where I was the Arbiter the whole time.
Right.
And you were like, that doesn't happen on the, you never get to play as that, everything else. So I like that we're stumbling on some other stuff that you still didn't know about.
Exactly. Well, it's how I feel about Halo is I love it so much that, you know, when like you hear a really cool song or watch a really cool wrestling match or watch a really great movie and you go, I can't wait to show my friends this.
Yeah.
And then you show them that, and then you get just as much joy out of them getting joy from it.
Yes.
Like, that's how I feel about Halo. So, like, you getting to experience all these in chronological order, you being able to jump into Halo Infinite and be like, oh my God, this is incredible. This is the best.
Not just jumping into it, I started my campaign on Heroic.
I know. I was so proud of you, man.
I was actually doing all right.
Yep.
There was a couple points where I kept getting smoked, but I got past it.
Hey, okay, so real quick, and then I promise everyone we'll jump right into it. But what has been your gun of choice on Heroic? Because I'm also playing on Heroic.
Yeah.
So what has been your gun of choice to make work of the Banished?
So, funny enough, it's not so much my choice. I keep getting stuck with the Mangler, and like, I just run out of ammo, and all that's around is a friggin' Mangler, so I end up with a Mangler, dude.
Dude, I'm not kidding. Everyone's gonna freak out in chat. The Mangler is all I've been using. It's the best. It's the best, dude. Okay, so like, I don't get me wrong. If I have a battle rifle, I go crazy. You know, I love the battle rifle from a distance. Yep. But literally, I've been talking to Chad about this. I said it on the AEW game stream. I said it on our stream earlier today. The Mangler rules, dude.
So the BR is great and everything, but I run out of ammo almost immediately. And the only thing that's around is a Mangler. And I've just...
Mangler's great. It's great.
Almost nonstop. It's
amazing. It's amazing. Everybody, Chugs Army, Sweets Live crew, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Awesome.
Guys, thank you very much for a fantastic stream as always, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes. Mwah. See you guys tomorrow.
With Chugs, so you better follow. Know that he up, like he hit the lotto. Rolling in clutch, like like he hit the throttle. You loving the stream? Well, it ain't no problem, you know that we got him. Rolling in clutch, like he hit the throttle. You loving the stream? Well, it ain't no problem, you know that we got him.